Hey everyone, it's Yana and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to be making a strawberry Longan jelly cake. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a big thumbs up, and let's get to it. So I wanted to let you guys know things that go well when I'm making dessert and things that don't go so well. So for this cake, it worked all the way up until the point where the jelly started to being made. So if you guys plan on following along and making this recipe, I recommend that you find a separate recipe for the jelly part, and I hope you enjoy watching the rest of the video. So before we get started with the cake, I thought that I would tell you the recipe so that you have the ingredients needed. Also, I'll be telling you them in grams and milliliters because that is what the recipe came in, and usually boxes will tell you how many grams are in it, so it really should work out fine. So the first thing you're going to need is 80 grams of graham cracker. You're going to need 40 grams of unsalted butter, and we're going to be melting this. So I would take it out right now, and it just makes it easier when it's softened. I took this out around 6:30 when I woke up, and it's currently about 8 o'clock. So it's not as softened as I'd hoped, but I'm not too worried about this. The other ingredient we're going to be softening is probably more important than the butter, so we will get to that one. And then you're going to need a circular pan. The recipe called for a 15 centimeter by 8 centimeter one, and I believe mine is bigger than that, but I'm not too worried. I think that I'll just have thinner layers, and I think it'll still look really good. If you don't have a circular pan, I'm sure a different shape would work, like a square one, but I'm just using a circular. Totally up to you. You're gonna need 140 grams of sugar, and that is all of it added together that the recipe calls for. So it's not like we're all putting in at one time. You're gonna need 250 grams of softened cream cheese. And like I said, emphasis on the softened. We're gonna be incorporating so many different ingredients into the cream cheese that it'll be such a big help to have it softer than if you had just taken it out of the fridge and started working with it. You're gonna need 50 milliliters of vanilla extract, 10 milliliters of lemon juice, and 65 grams of unsweetened yogurt. You're gonna need 42 grams of powdered gelatin, and like the sugar, that is all added together. I have a strawberry gelatin one, but I'm sure a normal, just flavorless one also works. This is the one we found, and it actually works really well because we're making a strawberry jelly cake. You're gonna need 250 grams of heavy cream, 20 grams of lemon juice, and I know I mentioned 10 milliliters earlier, and I just separated those because they're in two different measurements, and then strawberries and watermelon. So now that we have all the ingredients, let's move on to the cake. So the first step to making this cake is you are going to crush your 80 grams of graham cracker in a bag. I wasn't sure how crushed the recipe wanted it to be, so they're kind of finely crushed and then a little bit of bits, but I think it'll turn out well. When you're done crushing it, you're going to add your 40 grams of melted unsalted butter, and definitely glad that I softened it because I think it melted a lot more easily. And then you're going to add 10 grams of sugar. When you're done doing that, you are going to mix it all together, make sure that it's all well incorporated, and I'll see you after. So now that I have combined my graham cracker, butter, and sugar, this is what it looks like. I'm now going to pour it into my cake pan. Probably use a spoon, make sure to spread it out all nicely and evenly. Then you take something hard, I'm using this coffee grinder, put saran wrap around the end and push it down really hard. Make sure that the graham cracker is all packed nicely together, especially because this is the base of our cake. I also put tin foil around the cake pan because I want to be able to take the cake out nicely and evenly without the jelly sticking to the sides. So once you pour the graham cracker in, you are going to put it in the freezer for 30 minutes, and I'll see you for the cream cheese part. Alright, so now that my graham cracker is in the freezer, I actually did have to make a second batch because I didn't have enough, but I think it looks good. I'm happy to see what it looks like in the end. I'm going to move on to the cream cheese part now. So remember, you need to have 250 grams of cream cheese softened. This is 226, but I have some in the fridge that I can just add in. And I'm going to mix that a little on its own just to make sure it's creamy and I can incorporate different ingredients easier. And then I'm going to add in my 50 grams of sugar. So now we are going to add 50 milliliters of vanilla extract and 10 milliliters of lemon juice. And 65 grams of unsweetened yogurt. Alright, so I have finished with that part of the cream cheese mixture, so now I'm going to start on the gelatin. This package came with 85 grams, I only need 10, so I'm going to be using a very small amount and mixing that with 1/4 cup of water for the gelatin mixture. my gelatin powder and my water together. I think I'm going to add a little bit of cream cheese to it because then it'll make it more of a consistency that'll make it easier to mix into the whole batch so it won't be too liquidy. So now that I have mixed in the gelatin to my cream cheese, it's pretty much strawberry cream cheese, which is pretty cool. But now we're gonna add in our heavy whipping cream. So you're gonna do half a cup right now. We did the measured out grams to cups. You're gonna do half a cup right now, mix it all in evenly, and then you're gonna add the other half, mix it all in. I thought I would update you guys on what my cream cheese is looking like, so here is a photo. Next, I'm going to split it in half and put half in another bowl, and I'm going to be adding this Longan juice. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. So the reason I'm doing this is because I originally planned on making a strawberry lychee cake, but I couldn't find that, and this fruit is pretty similar to lychee. So I'm going to be adding the syrup into the cream cheese, and that's going to be what the little cubes are going to be in the cake, and the rest of the cream cheese will be on top of the graham cracker. So I will see you when I'm done splitting it, adding the syrup, and putting them in the molds. So I put the molds that had the cream cheese with the Longan juice in it in the freezer, and they're gonna be there for about 1 to 2 hours. And now I'm going to take the remaining cream cheese and put that over the graham cracker, which has hardened, and then that'll go in the fridge for a while. So it is a couple hours later, and the molds are completely hard. They're ready to go into the cake. So I'm warming up some water to get these out, and then I'm going to start on the gelatin mixture that's going to make up the jelly of the cake. Alright, so it is the next day, and this is what the final cake turned out to look like. Not how I imagined, but you know, that's okay. But that is where I'm going to end today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!